Du lytter til Bagerstop, en podcast om motionscykling.
De ellevilde tilskuere har taget plads på bakken i massive mængder i gummisko og vinterjakke denne eftermiddag først i april. Det er lidt overskyet, og det grønne skær fra de grønnede tv-billeder gør, at man fornemmer, at der stadig er lidt mos på brostenene på den snoede, stejle vej op ad Garatsbergen. I tung gear moser Johan Museeuw sig vej mod toppen af den modbydelige stigning. Han er alene, og han pumper vat ned i pedalerne, med nærmest fjedrende bevægelser helt op fra skuldrene, ned over lænden og ned i de massive lårmuskler. Det farvestrålende Mapei-tøj står i skærende kontrast til de grå og brune farver, som stadig ligger over Flandern, på trods af at foråret og de gule og grønne farver er lige på trapperne. Museeuw har 10 kilometer til mål. 10.000 meter før den tredje sejr i monumentet Flandern Rundt er en realitet. Selv og megastjerner som Andrea Taffel, Smil, Rolf Sørensen og Peter van Petegem forsøger at køre ham ind, så må de strække gevær mod den belgiske legende. Tilskuerne ved målstregen vinker febrilsk med flag med det flamske våbenskjold. Den karakteristiske gule baggrund med den sorte løve på. De vinker, da deres held passerer målstregen i ensom majestæt. Johan Museeuw, løven af Flandern, æder endnu et monument denne eftermiddag og tilføjer dermed endnu et gigantisk resultat til sin resultatliste. Ikke alene er han en af de få ryttere, som formår at vinde Flandern Rundt og Paris-Roubaix. Han vinder begge løb fantastiske 3 gange. I dag er en vaskeægte cykellegende gæst i Bagerstop. Hej og velkommen til Bagerstop. Til podcasten for dig, som har et stærkere kærlighedsforhold til brostensklassikere, end Dynamit-Harry har til Pilsner i Olsenbanden-filmene. For dig, som munker flere kilometer på cyklen hver eneste år, end der er tilbagelagt i samtlige udgaver af The Fast and the Furious. I dag sidder jeg hos Designcykler i det nordlige Aarhus, hvor det ikke kun er cyklerne omkring mig, som funkler. Det gør den kæmpe stjerne, som sidder over for mig også. Det er en rytter, som har vundet monumenterne Flandern Rundt og Paris-Roubaix 3 gange hver. Han blev verdensmester i 1996 og har i det hele taget en resultatliste, som i den grad går over i cykelhistorien. Det er ingen andre end Johan Museeuw, The Lion of Flanders, som er gæst i Bagerstop i dag. Og da Johan, som de fleste af jer ved, kommer fra Belgien, så kommer dagens episode til at foregå på engelsk. Hi Johan, and welcome to the podcast Bagerstop.
Hello. I didn't understand anything about what you have said before, but okay.
What I said was, Bagerstop. If you translate it to English, then it's called a bakery stop. But in Belgium, the name of this podcast would probably be coffee stop.
Oh, a coffee, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the purpose is the same, to have a good time and to get loaded with carbs and caffeine before the bike ride continues. Are you a fan of a good coffee stop, or do you think it's a waste of time, Johan, when out riding?
No, not at all. But as a ride, you drink a lot of coffee, and you drink a lot of coffee before the race. And all the team buses, you have the big coffee machines, Psycho and the other. So that's normal. That the riders drink a lot of coffee, and now that generation now, they stop also to drink a coffee.
Yeah. What about the cake? Is that a Danish thing that you have to eat cake too?
Yeah. My mom make always cake, and I love their cake.
Perfect.
So I will say if it's the same taste as my mom.
Yeah.
But I like cakes, and I like everything. That's normal for riders and cycling.
Yeah.
And cycling is I still cycle a lot, and I with people, and cycle is one thing, and drinking coffee is one thing, and drinking beers is one thing, and drinking a good of glass red wine, white wine is one thing. So it's I call it cycling experience.
That's a good term for that. Johan, you have actually been out riding today. a social ride with some Danish amateur riders. It was snowing. How was it?
Yeah, it was. It was already a long time that I wasn't in Denmark. It was from the Tour of Denmark that I was here, and I know it can be cold here. And today it was a day with snow and a little bit wind and cold. But okay, for 2 hours you can do it. If you cover yourself, you can bike 2 or 3 hours in this weather. Longer than this, it's also possible, but it's not okay. So then you have to go home and drink a coffee and warm up again. But it was back. It was good to be back again in Denmark and see my Danish people and see how it is in Denmark for biking. And I know the last years. A lot of good riders coming from Denmark and also teams and Uno X, like example. So it's growing a lot in Denmark and Belgium is cycling home.
Yeah,
that's we have to say that.
Yeah.
The real Flandrien is coming from there.
Yeah.
But it's stupid to say that you have to learn cycling in Belgium. That's not true. 30 or 40 years before it was like that, and now this is over. So also in Denmark and everywhere, they have the experience for to give young people how they have to become a professional rider.
Yeah, that's great, Johan. But I have to before we go any further. This episode will be a bit shorter than normal, but a tradition is a tradition, and in Bagerstop, it's a tradition that we eat cake. So therefore, I have brought these. On Danish, it's called hindbærsnitte. On English, raspberry slice. Take a look, Johan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I open the box and
it's like big drops of heaven. These very simple cake.
So I have to taste now.
Yeah, you have to taste. It's the concept. And you have been out riding, so you need the carbs. What do you think?
It's sweet. It's
it's a bit dry, perhaps. But
it's different than my mom.
It's different, your mom. Yeah, I bet your moms are exceptional. Yeah. Yeah, you like it.
I like
it's
it.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
It's okay for a coffee ride.
Yeah.
And to stop and have some sugar.
Yeah, and you have a long day ahead of you,
and
so you have to
do
get the sugar.
Another 2 hours. So
exactly.
I don't know where you have buy it or if you make it.
No, I bought it. I was
okay.
Yeah, I was lazy and bought it, but I
know
these guys
also
make,
lazy.
Yeah, it's you have to be lazy sometimes. Johan, in cycling terms, the word Flandrien is used to describe a rider who is extremely tough and can perform in all conditions. Is it necessary to be a Flandrian to stand a chance in the couples classic like Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix?
The name Flandrien is it's still difficult to explain what a Flandrien is. And normally, a Flandrien is a rider that wins Flanders, Roubaix, and other tough races, when bad weather, bad conditions, on a special way, and a little bit not okay on the bike, and sunglasses not okay, a helmet not okay, or without helmet in my generation. Yeah. But this is over now. All the riders have a good position on the bike. They are, you have a good helmet, nice sunglasses, everything is perfect.
So
you don't call them like a Flandrien,
don't.
Because
it's old-fashioned.
It's old-fashioned, it's good, they're perfect, but we have still Flandriens, and if they're winning on a special way, Flanders, Roubaix, or other races, especially the spring classics, then we have Flandriens. So Mats Pedersen, like example, if he win tomorrow, it can be a new Flandrien, for example.
Yeah.
Or as Green, he won last year. He was beating Van der Poel.
Yeah.
I was also a little bit surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
Yeah.
But he has also a Flandrien. So if you win on a special way, like last year as Green, because we didn't know he is fast in the sprint. Okay, a sprint after 260k, it's different. But Van der Poel is really fast in the sprint, and he was the winner. Yeah. So he was the new Flandrien.
He was a Flandrien.
So the name Flandrien, it's difficult to explain to people, and in the future, Flandrien was a rider was not okay on the bike and not nice sunglasses and without helmet and not a perfect rider. Yeah. But he was a winner. Yeah. And then he was a Flandrien.
You were a Flandrien.
I was also not perfect on the bike.
No, perhaps, but you were a powerhouse. You could really hit some watts.
You know, it's also part of the media. They call you one day the Flandrien. And if you won one time Flanders, then you're already a petit Flandrien. If you win 2 times, okay. And if you win 3 times, and if you have 3 Roubaix and other classic races, then it's very normal. Then you are a Flandrien.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, so that's easy to say. I'm a Flandrien.
Yeah,
but my nickname is the Lion of Flanders, and that was a reason of a television commentator. Louis Michel Weitz. One day he called me the Lion of Flanders.
Yeah,
on television. So, and that was the beginning of the nickname, and now I have still the nickname. So I have to say thank you to the person, because it's my image still now.
It's an extremely tough and cool nickname.
It was my image in my career, and it's still now my image, and I use it still again. So I'm happy that guy called me one day the Lion of Flanders.
I can understand. I'm just called the man who eats a lot of cake, so I'm extremely envious of you, Johan. Your nickname is much cooler. I just saw a recap yesterday of the 1998 Tour of Flanders, and recalled what an incredible powerhouse you were on a bike. Man, you could kick those pedals. That race was very epic. You got away from the bunch around 20k from the finish line, and no one ever saw you again before the victory ceremony. Was this particular race one of the greatest one you have ever ridden?
Oh, that's same again. So I won also Paris-Roubaix with 5 minutes before Tom Bonen. And I won also Flanders with 2 minutes before. And another Flanders with 1.5 minutes. So it doesn't matter if you win with 1 minute or 3 minutes or with 1 centimeter. I have lost 1 Roubaix between Gianni Bugno with
0.7 inches or so.
Yeah. So if you win, you're a winner. If you don't win, you're a loser.
You were a winner a lot.
That year that Bugno won, I wasn't the winner. So I did a mistake in the sprint, and Gianni won, and he was a great rider, and he won the Tour of Flanders before me, but I was unhappy with that. So,
You mentioned Bugno.
For me, it's one. If you win, that's the most important. To be second, it's not okay, and to be third, it's not okay.
The podium isn't of interest of you.
There is just one place in sport, and that's the winner takes it all. And you understand that after your career, because I'm here now in Denmark, because I'm an ex-winner of Tour of Flanders, Roubaix, and other big victories.
Yeah,
they don't invite here one rider who was second and third in France.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think that's right. You're one of only 6 people in history to win the Tour de Flanders 3 times. Only 2 riders, De Vlaming and Bonen, has won more Paris-Roubaix than you. And you must be the one to ask, Johan, what does it take to be a world-class rider on these couples?
Yeah, you start as a professional rider, and then you have to find your way. You're a sprinter, and I was a sprinter in the beginning. And then when I moved to an Italian team, they want that I can win, want to win for them a classic. And I prepare different, more distance, long distance, and another way with training. And that was the beginning of a long career. So when I moved to Italy, the year after, I won my first Flanders. Yeah. First time that I was second, we talking about to be second, the year that Edwig van Nooijdonk kwam. And I was happy with the second place, but I say when I drive back home with the car, I say to my daddy, I'm not happy because to be second is not okay. I want to be the winner, and I will prepare this winter better than last winter because I want to win one time Flanders.
What did your father say?
I didn't know that I will win 3 times. So my father say, yes, maybe, because I say the same now. Yes, maybe, because it's quite difficult to say I will win.
Yeah, it is.
Normally, 2 days before we say Wout van Aert will win the Tour of Flanders, but now he is sick.
Yeah.
So it can happen anything, and it's also quite difficult if you're in a good shape and a normal race. And for example, one of the biggest riders ever, Eddy Merckx, he just won 2 times Flanders.
Yeah.
For Eddy Merckx, it's not so much. He won 8 times Milan-San Remo and other races so much.
Yeah.
But I can say I have won Flanders more than Eddy Merckx.
You did?
It's a good friend of me, and if we drinking some glasses of red wine,
you can cheese him
after a couple of glasses, I say, Eddy, I won Flanders more than you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you won the Paris-Roubaix 3 times. But which one of these 2 races are the hardest one to win?
They are similar and they are a little bit different. Flanders has more intervals.
Yeah.
The cobbles are more on the small hills, but going up.
Yeah.
Roubaix, the sections are longer, 2.5, 3K, or rougher, or tougher, or harder. It's offer more your body.
Yeah.
It's take more energy from your body, because in Roubaix you have 65K of cobblestones. In Flanders you don't have so much cobblestones. That's quite a lot, 60K. So that's mean your body suffer a lot, and yeah, you have to be more a cobblestone rider to win Roubaix than Flanders. So, like we say now that people understand me, Pogacar, he can do everything, but he can win easier Flanders than Roubaix.
Yeah,
because he's not really a cobblestone rider.
No,
he is a cobblestone rider. He can do everything. But okay.
Yeah, but when he's up against Van der Poel, Van Aert, Asgreen,
specialists like Van der Poel, Van Aert, Asgreen, real cobblestone riders, then it will be difficult for Pogacar at the end.
Yeah,
even if he is a power boy, 400, 500 watt, even for him it will be difficult to win Roubaix.
Yeah,
maybe he wants to win Roubaix. Another example is Bradley Wiggins. He's a good friend of me.
Yeah.
And he won the Tour de France, all the Olympics and everything. And one day he wanted to win Paris-Roubaix. And it wasn't... He doesn't win Roubaix.
No.
So even for big riders, for power men, it's quite difficult to win Roubaix.
Yeah.
So it's not easier to win Flanders, but a rider like Alaphilippe, it's also more chance to win Flanders than Roubaix.
Yeah. Growing up as a kid, Johan, in Flanders, when did you realize that you were good in these conditions on the harsh cobbles? When did you know that that was your specialty?
First, I was a soccer player, and then I was a rider. And you start something in your life, and you don't know it will be that you don't will be the best of all the rest.
Yeah.
And it starts in the beginning because you like something. and then after it's your job, and you make money with it, and you make publicity, and you're a hero. But as a kid, you don't know that because you like cycling and you have heroes. My hero was Eddy Merckx, Roger de Vlaming, Freddy Martens.
Yeah.
So
Those kind of riders.
you don't know that you will be the same level in 10 or 20 years. So, but it's better the way like that, because if you know it already before, it's not it's not
It
okay.
wouldn't be so fun when you experience it. As a kid, you were really good at cyclocross races too.
It's always difficult to say if riders or young riders have to do cyclocross or track racing or mountain bike. But now with Van der Poel and Van Aert, they are two really cyclocross men.
Yeah.
No, you can't say they are cyclocross men anymore. And they are so high level on the road. Okay, but there was in the young categories there was cyclocross men.
Yeah.
For Roubaix, okay, it's better. You did cyclocross. They say Remco Evenepoel, he's not a good
downhill, yeah.
and that's the reason now he didn't have done cyclocross or mountain bike. It can be, but I don't believe in it. It's always difficult to say to young people if they have to do some cyclocross or mountain bike. I say to young people, try to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And then you have to find your way.
Yeah.
But, okay, if you're young, do a little bit of cyclocross, mountain bike, gravel bike.
Yeah.
Everything.
Get a sense of the feeling and how to control the bike.
Okay, they have more experience on the bike. That's true.
Yeah.
Of course they have, because cyclocross is really technical, and they are technical on the bike. And when it's a very, very slippery Roubaix, okay, it's better for them.
Yeah. Okay. Before I mentioned the 98 episode of the Flanders, where you won on a solo ride. You won over riders like Peter van Petegem, Andres Schmil and others. For example, the Danish legend Rolf Sørensen. How was your relationship with Rolf at the time, and was he one of the greatest rivals in that period?
I have raced together in the same team with Rolf. So Rolf was a good colleague and a good rider, and a lot of motivation on training, and he was a hard worker, and he was also a big talent, but he was more a hard worker, and he was training a lot in Italy, and he was quite good in everything. He can win Flanders, Roubaix, Liège, Lombardia, and he can win also a hard stage in the Tour de France. So he was more an all-rounder. I was a puncher. He was more an all-rounder.
Yeah.
So Rolf was a rider. He was always motivated. And you have to say always Rolf Sørensen, he will do something, because you never know it before with Rolf. He can go in the breakaway, he can go in the descent, he can go in the crosswind. He was full of surprises, but he was a very good colleague and a good rider. So he is. I think he's one of the Danish riders with a very, very, very high palmarès.
Yeah, a lot of wins. That's for sure. You always also rode against Tafi, Gianni Bugno, Bartoli, and others. But did you ever fear any of your competitors standing on the starting line? Did you fear them, or how did you feel about your competitors?
Oh, in the beginning, as a young rider, you are afraid to speak with them, and you're because you don't know that you will become the same level as them. And if one day, if you won a race and you are at the same level, we are all normal persons, and it's the same now with Pogacar, Wout van Aert, Van der Poel, Asgreen. They are normal persons, and they are stronger than the others, but
We all have a mother.
Yeah, of course, and everybody is the same, and yeah, I was the best in my generation, and I have won all the big races, but I don't feel different than somebody else. I know that I have won the races, and I'm happy with that. But I have worked a lot as well for that. So they don't give it to me. I have worked a lot because I was a hard worker, and I think if you're a hard worker and you want to get something, then it's possible.
Yeah, but you need the talent too, I guess.
Yeah, of course, I had the talent, and I was a hard worker, and there was a chance to be a good rider for me, and I have taken the chance with both hands.
Yeah, you have, Johan. Nowadays, do you still ride the cobbles yourself, or do you strictly ride the more comfortable roads like today on the tarmac?
I'm living in the Flemish Gardens now, and
yeah,
I'm biking a lot over there, and also because I have my own cycling experience, Museeuw cycling experience.
Yes.
And I'm guiding people around. And if people's coming to Belgium, they want to feel the cobblestones, and they want to get up the Patersberg, Koppenberg, and other famous hills.
Yeah.
And if they get up, they are so happy that they do it, that they have done it. So I did this week also with the US group Roubaix.
Yeah.
On Monday, and it was dry, and it was fun, and I still like it.
Okay.
I'm still like it.
You like it?
That was your question.
But the bike is shaking all over the place, and it must be hard for the body.
The material now is better.
Okay, you can feel that.
Yeah, I have the tarmac bike, and I have riding as well with good material, but now the material is much better.
Yeah.
And all the vibrations that your body have, now it's much better. The tubes now are 30 millimeter.
Yeah.
My generation, it was 23.
And hard pumped.
Yeah. So the material now, clothing, bikes, everything is much better for us and also for the riders.
Yeah. What kind of bike do you ride?
I am
which label?
ambassador of Specialized already a couple of years. So
right.
I'm happy that I'm ambassador of Specialized. And I don't say it's the best bike, but it's one of the best bikes.
Yeah, it's hard to define which is the best bike.
But I'm still love cycling, and I'm still love to ride with something special.
Yeah,
people like to ride with a special car, and that gives a special feeling. I prefer to have a special bike because I still love to bike and to have a special bike and a bike that nobody have, and that make me happy.
Yeah, a bike can make a man happy. That no doubt about that.
Also a girl. Also
a girl.
Yeah, everything can make somebody
people
happy. It depends what you like.
Exactly. The climbs of the Flanders. Which one was your favorite back riding?
We have a lot of climbs, and in the Flanders we have 25 climbs. So, but my favorite was the old Quaremo, and because it's one of the longest. It's not the steepest, but it's the longest, and there you can make the difference. And you see it also now. Now they have to do it 3 times. My generation wasn't like that.
No.
So it was in the beginning, and in the beginning was not okay to have the effort over there.
No.
Now the last time at the old Quaremont, like last year when Asgreen van der Poel lost Van Aert, that is really a hill that you can do this effort. So my favorite is still there because
legendary.
Now I have more weight in the body, and when it's not steeper than 10%, because the average is 6.5, and it's the same average as the Quaremont beer.
Yeah.
So if you drink a Quaremont beer, you see it, how much alcohol it is. It's 6.5.
It's perfect.
And that's the same average of the climb.
Yeah. Which one was the hardest climb?
The hardest is the Koppenberg, and also
Yeah.
the toughest because it's the steepest, it's
very
the
steep.
lowest. When it's wet, it's difficult for everybody, even for the riders to get up.
Yeah.
And
Over 20%.
it's more than
some places.
sometimes it's 25.
Yeah.
So it's
And cobbles.
the quality of the cobblestones and everything that makes the Koppenberg the most difficult hill in Flanders to get up.
Yeah.
And now it's even difficult for me to get up, but the same. Now we have a 36 before, and behind we can have
cassette,
a 32 cassette.
Yeah.
So it's easy now to get up for everybody.
Yeah,
And
but your gears were much higher. You can see when you see the clips from back then, your cadence isn't as fast as today.
No, that's the reason, because behind we have in the beginning a 23. That's what 23, and now they're riding in every race with the 25 over 28. So the cadence can be higher, and that's also the reason.
Yeah, some of the pros back then, not you, Johan, but some of the other pros, they were jumping off their bikes and walking up.
I never have jumping off, but okay, I can understand, because if you're in a bad position and you have a problem when it's wet, and maybe tomorrow it will be bad weather, and maybe tomorrow we see that imagine again that riders have to climb up and walk up like in the future, like Jesper Skibby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Johan, before we end this period, let's talk briefly about the current Danish cycling scene. 1 out of 10 Danes own a racing bike. How cycling mad of a population do you think that we are? We know the Belgians are cycling mad.
Belgium is a cycling country, and I can't explain how it is, because
you have to experience it.
If you go, for example, today we have the Tour of Flanders for the Grand Fondo, and this morning start 10,000 people. And it's already a whole week that a lot of riders are there and people is there, and the atmosphere is cycling. And everybody is speaking about the Tour of Flanders.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that in other countries. And it's also with other races. And if you look to the newspaper, we have 5 pages of cycling. We have every day some on television. We have programs. We have everything. And
I want to live there.
That's make also cycling so hot. And of course we have also a lot of Flandrians and big champions. Now we have Wout van Aert, we have Evenepoel. So that makes also continue for the people. But I can't understand why Belgium is like that. It's small Belgium, but everybody likes cycling.
Yeah.
And that's about
tradition.
The history.
Yeah.
Eddy Merckx, Brixcotte, Van Looy, Freddy Martin, Roger de Vlaming, all the other Flandrians. That make Belgium so popular, so hot of cycling.
Yeah.
And you don't feel it in other countries. So I travel a lot, and in Italy, for example, you have a little bit the same feeling, but not the same.
I remember the World Championship in Leuven.
Yeah, but it's growing everywhere. And yesterday evening I was in a pizzeria here in
Aarhus.
Yeah, in Aarhus, and the guys who were making the pizza were with the capes. The Colnago and the old capes, and it looked fashion. It looked like, and they say, we love cycling and we know the history, and that's good also that they know the history, because that's the beginning of cycling. That's the history, the old Flandrians. You have also in Denmark you have a lot of history with cyclists, but in Belgium,
it's bigger.
Sorry, but I can't explain it.
Yeah, we have to experience it.
you have to come over.
Yeah.
So you have to come over to see how it is.
And try to follow your wheel up.
It's different than here. Okay, now we have done a groups ride with people, and you see that people love cycling, and there is feeling. But this we have every day in Belgium. So yesterday evening I was walking around here, and nobody knows me. If I walking around in Belgium, then it's different.
Yeah.
So I prefer
This is
to
nice.
stay here, and that nobody say, "Hey, hello, Johan, how is it? Who will win tomorrow?"
But I saw a picture of you and Ugi, and I could see he knew you. He was
but it's totally
so
different,
happy.
and sometimes I like to be also in a country like this here.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
Today it was cold,
Yeah.
but it's special, so it's a good experience for me to come back after a couple of years.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Johan, you are going to ride the Ronde van Borum, an amateur race, a tribute to the Ronde van Flandern. I tell you, people are crazy when racing here. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to get a good position. I don't know if that's a bit different in Belgium when participating in amateur races. How's the...
We have amateur racers,
Yeah.
A lot, and that's the same.
They want to
win, and also, for example, we have also Grand Fondos, and that's not really a race, but people want to be fast. I want to meet the other before and want to take the other one on that hill. So there is always a little bit of competition in. But I'm still bike a lot, and I still like to bike.
The shape is good.
But I don't have the competition feeling anymore.
Okay.
So I don't want to be the fastest. I don't like it to be the fastest. I want it, but I have my age, I have my kilos, and I bike also with how I have to say, it's not always okay to go out and to go fast. I bike to be healthy.
For the leisure, for the health.
I don't prefer to come at home and to stay in the bed a couple hours to recover. But I understand that people want to be the fast one and race like tomorrow. It's good. It's interesting. But I'm here, and if I say that in Belgium, I go to Denmark to do the tour of Borum, and then they look to me. You have to be here in Belgium.
Yeah.
I say yes, but I want to see how it is over there.
Yeah.
And it's already 2 years that they invite me. And 2 years we have the COVID problem, and now it was open, and I say yes. Now I will go, and I'm happy that I'm here.
We're happy. It's an absolute honor to have you here, Johan. The last question of this podcast episode. We still don't have a World Tour race here in Denmark. We want to. I know there's been a lot of work around to get one. Do you think it's realistic that Denmark get a World Tour race?
I think so. Now the start, the Grand Départ, the Tour de France, it's in Denmark, so that's already something. And it's still growing, and it's starting with champions. And now you have champions. You have won last year the Tour Flanders.
Yeah.
You have a new chance tomorrow.
We have.
And you have another chance in Roubaix. So, and that give also the possibility to organizers to get here a World Tour race. So, why not? It's a beautiful country. You have everything. And I can say to Denmark and to all the organization, go for it.
Yeah.
Go in the box, take the money, and organize it.
There's one thing we don't have, Johan.
We don't
have the money. We don't have the couples, so we can't make a couples race. But
but it's the same in Belgium. Every race want to copy Tour of Flanders, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because you have one Flanders, you have one Roubaix, you have one Milan-San Remo, you have one Gent-Wevelgem, and that's a typical race. And not everybody have to copy Flanders. because riders doesn't like to have a whole year cobblestones, and that's the same with the Strade Bianche. That's gravel. Not every race have to be a gravel race.
Oh.
So we have to be careful that we don't have gravel races every week.
Yeah.
So Strade Bianche and other races are okay, but not too much. And that's the same with cobbles.
Yeah. All right.
So you can organize something.
Let's do that. And for the last one, I promised Ugi that I would ask you this one. Belgium has a bunch of world-class riders, but perhaps even more world-class beers. I have to know, do you like wine or beer the most? He told me to ask you this because yesterday he had a big shock.
I'm living in Belgium, and Belgium it's very small, but we have a lot of brewery. And for example, the Quaremont beer, it's very famous, and marketing-wise, it's something special because they make the name in Quaremont, and that's a famous hill, and they have the same average as the alcohol at the speed.
Yeah.
So, but I have.
Let's hear what a Flandrian would like to drink the most.
When I was in the team of the team of Patrick Lefebvre in Italy, and there I have learned drinking red wine, and it's still the same. I prefer to drink a good of glass red wine. So if you ask me, what do you want now, a Quaremont or a glass of red wine, I have to say I take the glass of red wine.
That's totally okay, Johan. Thank you so much for visiting the microphone right here in Bagerstop podcast, and thank you for your time. You're a true legend, the greatest classic specialist of your time, and a badass in the saddle. So, and an extremely nice guy too. So thank you for participating here.
It was funny to speak with you.
Yeah.
It was.
You too.
But I just want to say hello to all the Danish people that
please do.
That listen to this podcast. I hope they're still growing cycling and that they love cycling. And I see a lot of cyclists in Belgium, Danish people, and a lot of good riders as well. So keep further on like this. So you're on a good way.
Thank you, Johan. And vi går faktisk over til dansk igen nu, fordi også tak til dig derude, som har konsumeret de her lydbølger i dag. Tak fordi du har hjulpet med på den her, eller været med i hjulet på den her belgiske legende i dag. Og her til sidst vil jeg lige smide en kæmpe tak til alle jer, som også støtter Bagerstop på hjemmesiden tier.dk. I gør det her muligt. I øvrigt sammen med min gode samarbejdspartner Fusion, som løbende giver mig mulighed for at smide fede præmier efter jer, som støtter. Tilbage er der bare at ønske dig de fedeste ture på landevejen, uanset om du leger, du er Eddie Merckx, du forestiller dig, du er Tom Bonen, eller hvem ved, om du forser de lokale stigninger som en anden Johan Museeuw. Tak for i dag.